Welcome to Now Boarding.
Welcome to another episode of Now Boarding. I've got two of my mates here from APT, which stands for Australian Pacific Tours. I've got Brad.
I've always wondered what that stood for.
Yeah. And Robin. I'm sure we're going to behave in the best possible way, but
always.
What could possibly go wrong? So, listen, let me talk to you both. You've both been good friends of mine for a long time in the industry, and you've been in travel. How long have you been in travel, Brad? How about you?
Oh, Phil, I have been in travel 22 years now.
Don't look old enough to see.
Thankfully, this is a podcast.
Yeah, sitting here trying to do maths. 2007, I think, was my first job in travel, so not a million
Was
miles
it?
off,
Maybe
yeah.
that's part.
Just down the road, gold medal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Crikey.
So-
Yeah, well, you see, gold medal goes back in history with our business. I mean, they started in Blackpool.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
And progressively moved now. They're from Preston. Now they're in Leyland, I think it is. So we've got a great relationship with them. Interesting, that.
Yeah, they're good. But there's a lot of people. There's certain businesses like that who kind of take people on without that huge amount of experience, and you see
Correct.
those people all over the industry now. Some of them doing really well, and it's
Yeah.
it's an example of someone taking a bit of a chance, I suppose. And
So what brought you on your journey into APT?
well, it's 3 years, just over 3 years at APT now. And yeah, post-pandemic, the role I was in, enjoying life, well established. However, the new normal there was different than what I was necessarily looking to do. And essentially, my boss there had moved to APT, and better the devil you know, frankly. And of course, I loved River Cruise and was interested in the product.
Yeah, and you, Brad?
Yeah, for me, I mean, done varying things through my career, but I wanted, when joining APT, what really struck me was the family-owned and the culture. And it's a company that is Australian, Melbourne, started in Melbourne, 1927, so, you know, a long time ago. But it's still owner-run today. So it's that for me, joining APT was the culture, the family sort of influence, and the way they look after their staff, and that relays to the customers on board our ships or our tours. And it's that really sort of like approach to how they do things.
It's not dissimilar, is it? You
Yeah.
know our
No,
business well.
exactly.
You know, Travel Village Group, when we started in 59, and me and Paul did a bit of a pilot podcast, which
Yeah, I saw it.
which we
episode.
put live. It was quite funny actually, and but it's not dissimilar, is it? You know, there's we've got, I think we're on 4 generations now.
Wow.
And I think the APT, is it on the 3rd generation? It started with Bill back in
Yeah.
Started with
1920.
Bill 100 odd years ago, through to Jeff, and then we've still got Rob and Lou, who are the grandchildren of the founder, who are still active, still designing ships, key roles on the board. Over in Europe, quite a lot, getting involved with various different aspects.
Yeah,
of
and it's that
running the
personal
business.
touch and influence that makes the difference, really. So,
Of course it does.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a business like ours that's, you know, that's adapted, hasn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
over the years, and they've gone with the times. And I guess that Bill wasn't backward in coming forward. He saw where potentially one startup finished with the coaches. He started bus tickets, bus tours.
Bus tours, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think about the same time Thomas Cook was taking people from Leicester to Scarborough, or whatever that first one was. He was doing Melbourne to the Red Centre. And
Yeah.
there was kind of things that then
The
just
Red
developed and
Centre?
grew. Of Australia.
What's the Red Centre? Is that
Ayers Rock,
is that the Ayers Rock thing?
all of that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are some of those first trips. And in Australia, that was the beginning of that kind of package holiday culture, I guess.
And that just transformed, and then they saw a real opportunity on the rivers, and how the business has grown and developed, and now
That was around 2000 and early 2005, 2006, wasn't it? Something like
early
that.
2000s, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course we saw the potential in River as well as a
Yeah.
business, you know, and we jumped on the back of that, and like you say, with rivercruising.co.uk, the rest is history, you know, and it's interesting to see how that business has evolved and developed, and knowing you two, you know, seeing you move into the river business, you know, we're trying to convince people it's not just a holiday for people of a certain age, you know. And it isn't, is it?
No,
It
it's
really,
not.
it really
And I
isn't.
think you guys definitely sort of were ahead of the curve, you know, in recognising the opportunity and the potential in river and the growth of the market. And it's growth, it's not ocean growth, but it's real sort of, you know, growth in that sector.
Yeah, we've talked about that before as well. That the difference is, you know, what innovation is happening on the rivers. And people always say, well, how can you innovate on a ship that carries 150 people or whatever? But APT has managed to do that in quite a clever way, haven't it? And you've raised the bar again, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But,
I think
traditionally,
over the last, say, 4 or 5 years, there's been huge investment in new ships. So again, coming out of the lockdowns and all that kind of thing, during that time, big investment made, getting new ships, and that just gives you the opportunity to kind of rethink what is quite an established design or an established pattern of river ships. And the fact that we are owning, designing and building the ships just gives, again, the owner, Lou Tandy, kind of has taken it on to really design the ships to be, destinations in their own right, not just a method of travel,
Yeah, I
but
can see that.
all reflecting the areas that they're in and, immersing customers in it and things like that. So, yeah, it's just about a fresh perspective, I think, is the key.
Yeah, and it's not stopping there. There's new ships coming still and new destinations that may have been paused and are coming back. So exciting times.
that's interesting because, we'll come on to that in a minute. Globally, there's a lot of talk about over-tourism and things like that, and I think we have to have that on the radar. We have to be aware of it. It's really important. Yeah. But I think that said, there is still huge room for growth along the rivers, especially the rivers of Europe. And we'll come on to some of the other rivers later on worldwide. But there's still plenty of room for growth. But what I like about what APT has done, and we'll just stick on the river theme for a minute. I love the fact that you've got such a great mix. The Australians and the Brits have great banter.
They do.
Traditionally. We know that goes back to the Ashes and all that malarkey and everything else. And
cricket
I've
is
learned something
often a
about
point
10
of discussion.
bombs or something on one of the other podcasts. But
my first cruise on a Travel Marvel ship, which is part of the APT brand, it was during the World Cup. So we've got the Irish pub at the back of the ship, big screens on. McGeary's bar. So you've got Australians versus Brazil on in the big screen, and it's
such
relaxed, informal, but it's the banter is
the mix of guests. I have to say on your ships is something I think that really adds to why people come back to APT because.
Yeah, you're right. And what we find so often is they build friendships and they travel once, they meet each other, whether it's Kiwis, Aussies, Brits, and then they travel again and again together.
You said that in the last episode, didn't it? Some of the pals you make along the way. And it's such a key thing, actually. I mean, literally yesterday we were trying to align an option that was being held in Australia with one that was being over here and aligning cabin types and rooms and things like that because they'd met on a previous cruise. So a lot of the time it's their fellow guests who are ensuring the next rebook.
That makes the memories, right? I mean, holiday's a holiday, but it's about who you travel with and the experiences that you have.
And I keep trying to get that message across to people about the memories that you make and the people you meet, and and you're not living in each other's pockets on a river cruise on a riverboat, but you are absolutely opening yourself up to meet people. 9 times out of 10, they're people who've got the similar sort of mindset, why they want to be on a river, and it could be that for me personally, many places, me and Paula don't get off.
Right, yeah.
We'll use that quiet time at the pier. Just we might potter for a walk along the bank, along the river bank. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
But more often than not, we'll relax, we'll sit at the bar, have coffee, have a read or whatever, put some music on. There's so many reasons why you would choose a river cruise, but you're right. Some of the people that you meet, and those relationships, they last forever because people want to see. The good thing is, you know what you're getting, and then you can go and plan your holidays around the rivers.
Yeah.
So it could be you might want to go to the Nile, you might want to do the Mekong, you might want to do the Rhone or the Saône.
There's always another.
But you're going to do it 9 times out of 10 with people that you've met on a previous.
I think you make a really good point, Phil. River cruising is not living in each other's pockets, right? Whether you're on the Mekong with 80 odd guests through to the Rhine with 160 or 170, there's space, and you can still enjoy the ship yet meet those people and those experiences.
Absolutely. And moving on from the fact that you've got the riverboats in Europe, you've just come back from one of my told me you've been away. I've been to the Mekong for November and December. I went
from November into December.
Actually, it's quite a nice time to go out to the Mekong.
It's a spectacular time. And
Where is it?
I've spent a lot of time in Southeast Asia, so that's
Right,
where
it's
this
in
is.
Asia,
Over
yeah.
the years and all of this. This is the first time I've river cruised. I've backpacked, I've flash packed, I've kind of multi-centre holidayed around that part of the world. But Vietnam and Cambodia is the key element of what is the lower Mekong. So you'll start in Ho Chi Minh, sail up to Siem Reap in Cambodia,
Beautiful
or vice
in Ho Chi
versa.
Minh.
And I mean, we keep an eye on ocean trends, and you see what's one of the biggest areas of growth, not just in cruise, but in all travel, is this expedition, exploration, bucket list travel. And the Mekong is that, and that.
I agree with you.
It's absolutely beautiful. It's out of this world. And like you said, you can be a wildlife enthusiast, you can be into the culture, the spirituality, the food, all of those things, or you can just want to stay on the ship, enjoy a 5-star floating boutique hotel, watch the world glide by. It is out of this world.
You were saying in that part of the world particularly, life happens on the river, right?
Life exists on the riverbank.
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe. You'll see families washing their clothes. You'll see families washing their families in the river as much as you will anything else.
You might see that on Blackpool.
I was going to say.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's got I think we use the word authentic a lot, and I think you could swap that just as much for kind of a warts and all, because not everything is this kind of perfect situation, but that's what you're there for. You're there to scratch beneath the surface and really see life in all its glory.
I agree. I was very fortunate. Paul and myself went to the Mekong, and we saw some things that you say you would never expect to see. We saw people. I said low tide.
Yeah.
Forget all rivers will be tidal.
Of course, yeah. They will.
And at certain times of the day, the people are stood in the river and they are fishing for like whelk or whatever, or mussels or whatever, with their feet, and they trap them between the toes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they bring them up, take them, put them in a bag that's attached to the back or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, these are incredible things that you see. We went to see people making boats. I mean, these people are in their 80s. You talk about Rod Stewart doing well at Glastonbury. You want to see some of these people.
Go catch a whelk with your tow rod.
But it makes you appreciate life and really understand, what people go through in daily life to survive.
Predominantly, they're happy people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great experience in Mekong. In fairness, one thing I will say is I was absolutely cured of temples. If I saw,
it's like churches in Europe.
Bloody hell. We went to
APT.
done a temple.
Another bloody temple.
Yeah, my missus likes it. She's like, but I was like, can't deal with this. But there's enough to see. I mean, every day, there are 3 or 4 options, at least 2 or 3 options.
Well, that's the thing. There's flexibility is key. You can do ABT if you want, or you can go markets. You can go wander about. You've got it all.
And I think the type of customer that wants to Vietnam and Cambodia, particularly, the river cruising appeals to a wide range of customers, whether that's touring customer, whether it's a tailor-made customer, because it's so in depth.
It is.
And it's the only way to see it. I mean, I've overlanded through Cambodia. I've mini-bussed through the potholes, through the wildly varying standards of hotels.
They're building a train.
Kind of
they're building a train track. Aren't they?
I wonder when that's going to be finished. Probably before our HS2, in fairness, but we'll see how they get on.
You reckon?
Well, we'll
Probably
see.
will be. I think
so. But it's the same people in terms of mindset that want to go and do these cruises. But age-wise, that was one thing I noticed on the Mekong. It's anybody who wants to see that part of the world and has researched it will know that that's the best way to see that part of the world. And so that can be a 30-year-old as much as it can be a 70-year-old.
And then going to the other side of the spectrum, still small. Ships, right? A real growing area is around the Adriatic, isn't it?
It is.
And people actually taking, or if you got loads of friends, chartering some of the small yachts, and having that unique. It's like living like a king experience, isn't it? Really, or a superstar.
That coastline. I mean, whoever's been to Dubrovnik, for example, or land toured long weekend in Croatia, will spend all of their time looking at the ocean, looking at the islands, planning boat trips to visit the islands. And yet, if you take a holiday where you're coastal cruising on a ship, like you say, with maybe 17 cabins, real small group, and these are luxury yachts, boutique super yachts, if you will. It's relaxed and informal, but high end, super quality, and the sites you get, the island access you get, it's out of this world.
We've got one of my close friends in the industry. She took a private group, and if there's anybody watching this who wants to talk to me or the team, about more information about taking one of these yachts, it is absolutely affordable.
Yeah,
it is the most incredible experience you'll ever have, and I think, Robin, you've probably got some stories of people who, the things the places you go, you're at the hands of the captain, aren't you? Basically, you're only pottering around between the islands.
Well, the best thing I think about it, the itinerary designed to experience still Croatia in its true form. So you're on this small yacht ship, 30, 34, 36 passengers, but you're docking in the small towns and villages. So you're stepping off into the restaurants, the bars, the cafes. So you're still experiencing, you're dining on board and on shore, yet you're still going in to experience the Krka National Park. You're still experiencing Croatia rather than just sitting on your ship in the ocean kind of thing.
Tendering on and off, some of the bigger ships do.
Exactly. So it's immersive in a European kind of way. But the thing with APT, it's all about small ships, river ships, small touring, and that really brings it home to that the way we like to do things from a customer experience perspective.
Absolutely, you get a private transfer, and I think it's about 3.5 hours, 4 hours, one-way transfer, and then the other one is probably a shorter transfer at the end, whichever way.
Dubrovnik,
We've got a few different itineraries, but flying to Zagreb or Dubrovnik, and it's all taken care of. And that's another one of the key things about this. You will never see, whether it's river cruise or this coastal cruising, some of the areas you get access to without being on these small ships, without being on these itineraries. And to have all of that done without the stress, the hassle, the mither of having to research it, plan it, book it.
And you still got 34 passengers, but you still got your own cruise director on board with you, your own chef, your own captain, all the crew. So it's a real experience.
What's happening then at APT?
We got a lot going on, haven't we, Robin? I think there's, from a future planning perspective, development and investment, new ships. We got a new ship coming out next year on the Rhine. We are got another second ship coming out on the Douro not long after that. Egypt's back on the map, and we're building, another ship on the Nile. So there's a lot of future development, but a lot going on short term, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean it's exemplifying the value of river cruise. It's the PR around the new ships, and just supporting you guys and getting as many as the message out and the story out as we can to. You
touched on experiences ashore, but you touched on the Douro. It's been a bit of a buzzword in the industry over the last 2 or 3 years. Everybody wants to go and do Portugal on the Douro. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, sailing out of Porto. Yeah. I mean, it's a fantastic city in itself. I was lucky enough to go on one of APT's, actually, the Estrella.
Yes.
Earlier. Was it earlier this year?
In April, yeah.
It wasn't March, was it?
Saved us on having it wasn't March, it was definitely April. We saved us on having to book entertainment for that night as well. Seeing you on the piano.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I know.
That was fantastic. but I was surprised. I thought the Douro would be just like, I don't know, loads of just barrenness. But it's not. It's green. Lush, it's lush. But Porto in itself, I didn't realise there were two sides to Porto. Yeah. A bit like Buda and Pest, that sort of thing. There's two sides to it. I didn't know that. And all the bars and the restaurant scene. I mean, in Porto,
river cruising aside for a second,
let's do
Porto, an incredible city break destination.
The city great. I think Condé Nast have just put it in their top whatever must visit.
I don't blame
the value for money. You've got the beaches 20 minutes away. You've got the market, the best market I've ever been to in Europe. It was incredible. And then, add that to river cruise.
Fish restaurants are outstanding.
Food's out of this world. The whole thing is full of flavour. The whole country is fabulous for that, eating and drinking.
It's a big scene, and it's very easy to get to, which is quite nice to have a developing city break, certainly in popularity.
I mean, you talk about our mix on board of Australians. You get chatting to them about where we live, the envy that comes through, that we're an hour away from Porto. We can be in Santorini in 2.5 hours, and they've just got this look on their face. I've never actually been to Santorini. And they're like, look at you like you're absolute mad.
It's true. We are lucky in the UK.
Blessed so much on
all
our
these
doorstep.
places that we're talking about are so easily accessible.
So different, so much culture, food, variety amongst it all. It's out of this world.
But on the Douro, you mentioned earlier, Phil, often it's people's second or third time river cruise, and in my opinion, it should be the first because it's a bit smaller, 120 passengers on board. It's a little bit more intimate. But the views, the scenery, the food, the wine, and the ship that we were lucky enough to be on together, christening that ship, brand new ship, and we had a fantastic time. And
I did find it different. I mean, Mum and Dad had done the Douro, and they said it was slightly different, but they couldn't really put the finger on it. And I have to be honest, when I got on board, the ship is smaller, and you notice it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it any worse, or doesn't it actually.
It's different.
The whole thing about sailing the Douro is it's quite tight.
Yeah.
So everything's very close. It's in parts of it. It's like sailing through the Lake District.
Yeah, it is. And you don't sail at night, so
absolutely.
Yeah.
So it was it blew me away, to be honest with you. And like I said, the facilities on board, the pool, it just had everything for me, and it was a smashing destination.
I think the key difference when you're in the Rhine or the Danube, it's variety. I would say it's medieval. It's 1,000-year-old castles. That you're in Budapest one day, Vienna the next, and then little quaint, unheard of Dürnstein and Melk, Passau.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a slower pace, so it's quite fast paced. On the Douro, it's that a little bit slower, a little more intimate. It isn't it's long afternoons with a glass and a knife and a fork and just eating, drinking, and enjoying the.
Talk about knives and forks.
It's talking.
Good segue.
Here we go. Segue into.
Talking about knives and forks.
I don't know what that could be a segue into.
I remember that
we get asked out for dinner.
Yeah.
I remember we had a trip to was it Cologne? Cologne.
Oh my word!
We went to Cologne. I don't know what was kicking off, but there was something going on in Cologne. It was busy.
Yeah, what was it? It was football, wasn't it?
I think it might have been. We went to the Irish bar, didn't we? Then we
went to an Irish bar.
Then we went somewhere.
Must do. Oh, it's Paddy's Day.
But that's it.
It must be because you had
the big hat on, and in McGeary's. So we all that's right. Because my missus was pinching paddy hats. That was it. Guinness hats and everything. Taking them back to the ship.
So we were on the Irish bar on board the ship, then an Irish bar out in Cologne, and then
we had a sausage.
We went to the beer house and had a sausage or two.
So we bought. We have a little thing here. No. So I've got these sausages here. Come on, Brad, get a little stick for your cocktail stick.
Good man.
Now then, I need to know if these are as good, because somebody ordered.
Doesn't eat any himself.
We've got We've got a great photo.
Have some sausage and answer this question,
which you can see on probably on screen. We've got a great photo, and Robin. I'm not being funny. It was it 2.5 feet or something ridiculous?
Are we talking about what at the moment?
I measure.
No, we're not talking about him. Yeah, don't get carried away.
I didn't expect, and again, a preconception. If someone said to me, "Where's your favourite food?" It's Italian, it's Thai, it's Indian.
Try one of these.
Very few people answered German. When it comes to the food. But that meal we had in that beer house was out of this world. Cabbage, potato and sausage, and there's something they do to that over there.
Honestly.
And the schnitz. However, as you can maybe see from a photo on there, they do some big beers and they do some big sausages. And I never want to shy away from the challenge.
No, you didn't either. Every credit.
The eyes were watering on that one.
I bet they were.
It was a good do.
These are all part of the experiences.
and you know what? All these places and these things we talk about, we've done it. It's like you go to Rudesheim, you jump out. Rudesheim, you just walk off the ship, you're straight into the Christmas store.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go to the Christmas store in Rudesheim. Bearing in mind, it doesn't open till early summer, and then you're through then till obviously through Christmas. Yeah. Everybody goes to the Christmas shop. Now, Mrs. spends a fortune in there. Fortunes in there. But the cable car up to the top to the monument, it's one of the best views that you'll see. Yeah. On a river.
And how many people watching? How many people generally have even heard of Rudesheim? And like say the Dürnsteins, the Melks, these little places along the way that've got some amazing memories that having been there and experienced them, that you're never going to weekend away. You can Google all you want the most beautiful places, and it won't show up.
But isn't that the best thing about river cruising?
Yeah, it's the surprises.
Any season, there's something different every season.
Absolutely.
Whether it's March in an Irish pub in Cologne doing 2.5
early
feet
summer
yards.
in a Christmas shop.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got it all.
Christmas shop in July. More in trade.
Yeah.
But joking aside, APT now, you've got some new innovative ships coming out. Say that, can't I? Say again. You've got some very new innovative ships coming out.
That's good. That's good. Easy
and that's based around, a lot of it's culinary, isn't it? The reason for doing it.
Yeah, so going back to where Robin started, I guess, these two brand new ships on the Rhine and the Danube at the moment. One launched in April, one launched 2 weeks ago. And it's really raised the bar literally from a river cruise perspective. Right now, they are the best ships on the river.
Got a smile on his face. He's loving it,
Do you know what I love about that? There was, as you can imagine, before you invest like this and you build those kind of ships, and these are purpose-built design ships, and they don't get done overnight. But the meetings that were held leading up to it, there was one question that was asked on every meeting: is how do we raise the bar in terms of luxury, in terms of
because
your
space.
That was the question.
Dictated, aren't you?
Yeah. You know,
by the locks.
Exactly.
There's
only so much you are confined within a certain space. So how do we do it? And raise the bar was mentioned so often and so many times. As you alluded to before, there is a hell of a situation with Gruner Bar, which is on both of the new ships, the Solara and the Astara. Where on the mid-deck, so second deck, we have the Gruner Bar, beautiful small sharing plate, bit tapasy, wine bar vibe, very cool, and it would be a welcome addition if it just did that. But what it then does is on huge hydraulics will elevate the bar, raise the bar right up to the sun deck.
You're kidding.
And
I didn't know that.
It's 360 degree windows all the way round, and you raise up to the sun deck where you can step out, enjoy sundowners, cocktails.
So you can actually sit in there. So if the weather is a bit inclement,
I was about to do the noise, but it does it. The whole bar raises up to.
So if you
to
dock
the
next to
sun
another ship, it raises up, and you've got 360 degree views.
And the one thing that how do you deal with the confines?
why would you not want to do that?
It's out of this world. I mean, ships have limitations what they can do on the sun deck because they go under bridges. There are barriers. So the fact that this thing will just go up and down to allow that is just out of this world. And it's not. You can look at that and go, what a cool little USP, cool little gimmick, if you like.
It's never been done.
And
before.
yet, actually,
I don't think that's a gimmick, if I'm being honest.
The meal to have up there with that view is different than any river cruise ship.
And I guess that everybody on the ship will get the opportunity at least once.
Yeah, so there's 6 individual restaurants, and the thing with these
Six,
and this is not a subdivided.
It's called them restaurants. They are dining venues.
Dining venues.
And this is not a divider in
They
the
go viewers.
room.
Dining venues.
Dining venues. And so it's about creating those venues because this is not about all into one big main restaurant.
Yep.
This is about experiencing, eating.
That. Yeah. I like that. That whole, people don't like this idea. I'm not saying they don't like it. I'm just, people don't want to feel that they're herded.
Yeah.
I
agree.
And you're certainly not herded on a river cruise.
No.
You don't have to do anything. And if you go ashore, there are smaller groups, or you don't have to do that. You can do your own thing. But for me, this whole talk about venues, dining venues, is absolutely got to be the way forward. And I'm not just saying that because you sat here. It's music to my ears. Having been on many, many river cruises, many river ships, I think this idea of being able to eat when you want to eat, is absolutely the way forward. Because
and with 20 people, right? It's small, it's intimate, it's
absolutely
personal. Yeah.
And really atmospheric. So we were lucky enough to be on board on Friday 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Had a sleep since then, but the maiden voyage of Astara, and the atmosphere on board. It was the first day, so of course everyone's buzzing, but it's really social. Everyone's chatting as if they've known each other forever, and the restaurants and bars have just got this incredibly cool atmosphere. Because it's worth noting as well that we talk about luxury and what does that mean, and it can be a very broad term, but what it doesn't mean with APT is stuffy. No. There's very little 100%. Whispering at the bar. There isn't that kind of white glove twisting the glass element that can sometimes create a stuffier atmosphere.
And awkwardness,
there's real relaxed, unpretentious, non-fussy, but real quality and high end.
So exciting times.
It's good stuff.
You know what? That's a great place to finish because we're always looking for something new. We're always trying to find out what's the next thing.
Yeah.
You know, and the fact that you're creating these wonderful dining experiences in these spaces is absolutely fantastic for the industry and also for our guests.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of which.
Speaking of which.
One of those. Look at it.
Yeah.
They're good, aren't they?
They're fantastic.
They are, you see.
First time I've ever done a podcast with sausages served.
That's 20 mil, not
Have you done a
2.5
podcast
foot.
before?
Actually, first time on a podcast.
Really?
No.
I'll expect sausage on my next one.
Listen, it's always a pleasure
Thanks,
meeting
Phil.
you
Cheers,
two.
mate.
I love you to bits. You're great for the industry and smashing lads. And I think, you know, everything that we've talked about today is the truth.
It is.
The whole truth.
Nothing
And all
genuine.
the truth.
Genuine.
Yeah, and the future is absolutely bright for
Thank you,
people
mate.
travelling, a small ship travelling on the rivers or coastal voyages down the Adriatic. So thanks for sharing that with us today.
Thanks.
Really enjoyed having you. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Phil.
See you later.
Cheers, everyone.
Bye-bye now.